Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you for liking. Oh, I want to make sure this is not upside down, and it is. Thank you for liking, thank you for subscribing, thank you for being a part of the channel. I thought today we will just let our guides, your guides, spirit, source, universe, whatever resonates with you, do the reading and tell us what they have to say. Okay, there we go. We already have some cards out. Let's see what's going on. I have the Four of Wands, the Five of Wands, Nine of Cups, and the Star card. So, and the Star card is, oops, sorry, didn't mean to kick the camera. Let me get a little closer. So the Star card is the major arcana for Aquarius. And it can mean a few things. But as you know, I'm not your typical tarot reader. I will sometimes get completely different things than what the cards say. But usually the Star card means wish fulfillment. It can also mean like rest and time for relaxation. Like usually if it's following like the Tower card, because it comes after the Tower typically. The Four of Wands traditionally means love, marriage. With the Hierophant, Two Pentacles, like you have to make a choice at the bottom of the deck. The Hierophant is the major arcana for Taurus, and it can mean teacher, it can mean mentor, it can mean like a priest, like a marriage kind of energy. King of Wands, Page of Wands, Three of Wands, looking to the future, King of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Ace of Cups. So I want to see what the overarching energy is for this. And then looks like this one. Knight of Wands. So just the Knight of Wands. So overarching energy being the Knight of Wands, that's fire energy. That's flirtatious usually. That's but it doesn't look like that. It looks like closing a cycle to me. It looks like you finished something. You've completed something. Especially with the snakes. See how the snakes like loop, this is like your overarching energy for the reading is how I'm viewing it. Especially with the snake, like how he's eating his tail. And with the moon being in the center of it, I feel like you were in a hurry to complete something, like get through something is what it feels like. Usually it doesn't feel like the true Knight of Wands, which is usually like a fast-moving, flirtatious energy. I feel like you really wanted to get through something that was, yeah, potentially difficult or something you didn't want to be a part of. But it feels like this feels like I'm getting a few things, especially when I do like general readings, I'll get like different storylines I'm hearing at the same time. So I'm trying to hear which one's the loudest because it's easier for me to hear the loudest storyline. But when they're all the same frequent, when they're all like yelling at once, it's a little bit more difficult for me. But I'm also seeing something by this moon being in a circle. It's representing something. It's like, besides you completing something, it's also like you've also transformed into something. I feel like you not only completed a cycle, but you've made like a major transformation. That's what it feels like. You know how snakes will shed their skin? It's like you shedded a layer of yourself. Like I feel like this snake is like trying to eat his dead. This is the image I'm seeing. He's trying to eat his dead skin that he shedded. So he can be this like more beautiful snake. That's what I'm getting. So you not only completed a cycle, but you're in this like newer energy. And it's like when I look at this, with the way that I'm seeing the crescent moon, it's not quite it's like it's multi-dimensional. It's almost as if you went through some kind of portal. And that's how I'm seeing this snake had shedded its skin. It's like you transformed energetically, or you transformed, yeah, spiritually. You like ascended to another level. That's what it feels like your overarching energy is you went through this major transformation. The way we describe Scorpio, you know, the way it'll like die and burn and then rise as the phoenix from the ashes. That's what it feels like this is. Like you completed something major for yourself and you're coming up as this phoenix. You completed some huge cycle within your life. I don't know if it's a huge cycle within work, if it's a huge cycle financially, if you've closed a financial loop that was some kind of burden on the family, if you've paid off something, if you've had some kind of windfall with money, if you've recognized unhealthy connections that no longer serve you, so you've gotten rid of them, if you've spiritually, like, I want to say, have a better understanding of how things are connected and how people are connected, and that we are all one through our souls. But not just even that. It seems like it's within yourself. It happened with yourself spiritually. So whatever this obstacle was, you went through a major transformation. And it feels like it was through this past season. So it would have been, if you're in the northern hemisphere, it would have transformed during this fall season. If you were in the southern hemisphere, you would have gone through it in the spring, because we're now going into winter and you're now going into summer. So you would have gone through this during the spring. So it would have been through like a whole season. You were transitioning into this new version, this higher version of yourself, either financially, spiritually, yeah, emotionally, intellectually. You could be graduating from university, but you're at this other like stage now for yourself. You also have gotten rid of people who are not at the same vibrational level as you, meaning romantic relationships, family who are not healthy for you, friendships that are not healthy for you, because you've gone through this major shift and you only want to call in what's healthy for you. You've gone through this portal, through this door, and you can't go back, kind of thing. It's like it would be unhealthy for you to go backwards. That's what your overarching energy feels like. I'll put timestamps below for you, for those of you who like to jump around. So it feels like, with that, the first card then that really makes sense is the Five of Wands, but I don't feel the Five of Wands in the traditional sense. So the Five of Wands usually means like you're fighting internally. I like to sometimes know the planets that do these things, because it can help a little bit more. Saturn and Leo. So yeah, I feel like Saturn's about learning lessons. So I feel like you have learned, like with that overarching energy, you have learned some kind of lesson. That's what helped you master that skill with this overarching energy. But the Five of Wands doesn't feel like just like internal kind of conflict that you've gone through. And it's usually fighting. It doesn't feel that way. To me, it feels like clarity. It feels like the Ace of Swords, and it's not even a swords card, but it feels like the Ace of Swords, which means you have total clarity of the situation and yourself and others and what you want. And that's what it feels like to me. Because I'm just viewing this as like one big sword. Yeah, and if I was to get like timing off of this, especially for the southern hemisphere, this definitely makes sense for spring, because it feels like this happened, like you got all of your clarity in spring. So this would really resonate for people, especially in the southern hemisphere. Maybe you're from the northern hemisphere, but you happen to have been traveling in the southern hemisphere and you got clarity over something and you're like, I need to go back home, and something called you to go back home to the northern hemisphere, but you were off traveling and you had a trip that was actually intended to have you stay longer, but something called to you. Not like, oh, I'm calling from, you know, Germany saying, hey, come back home from Argentina. Not like that. Like internally, spiritually, something called you home. Like you just felt this call to go home. Is what I mean. But you would have been down there around springtime. You had this clarity, this insight through this spiritual awakening that you might have undergone. But it feels like you had complete clarity and insight to yourself and what you went through, to this job situation, to this romantic connection. Maybe you had insight into this person that you want to be with. Or to family. I'm completely covered in the chills. So those of you who are new to the channel, if I get covered in the chills or goosebumps, whichever word you prefer, it means it's my guides, your guides, my angels, your angels, ancestors, doesn't matter, source, whatever you prefer, is literally like touching me and saying, you are 100% right on what you're saying. Like you are hearing us loud and clear. Sometimes I'll itch a lot on my face and head, like if I'm channeling, but like the chills means I'm hearing that the message 100%. So I know someone who's watching, this completely resonates with. It may resonate with more than one, but I know this message is for somebody. That's why I'm doing it. So, yeah. And I don't know which card. Yes. So the Four of Wands, like I said, usually means like home. It can mean home. It can mean stability. It can mean, marriage. It's Aries energy. It's, which planet is it? It's Venus in Aries. So it's beauty. It's love. So I don't know if Venus resonates with you. Maybe you have a Venus placement in Aries. But like I said, I feel like something called to you to maybe go home. Maybe this experience with total clarity, you will now have insight on somebody you want to have a connection with that you see as a potential soulmate. This could be clarity over work, because remember, you're more high vibrational now, so you're going to be in alignment with different types of energies by this shedding of the skin and going through this portal that you went through in the spring in the southern hemisphere and in the fall in the northern hemisphere. So I feel like with this clarity and this insight that you have, you're seeing people differently. And so you're either looking at connections differently. So maybe you connected with people in the early fall and now you're looking at them. This is for people in the northern hemisphere, or spring. Again, I'm not going to keep saying spring or fall, but you know what seasons I'm talking about. But you could be looking at somebody as like, oh, wow, they are somebody I actually could have a really serious connection with. There's somebody I could have a long-term relationship with. When you never looked at them that way before, or you didn't think that opportunity would present itself and now it is. You could be able to be healing connections within families that you haven't been able to. I also feel from this that you are able to see your work life differently. Like you're having opportunities within work differently than you did before, because you're at a different vibration, right? You are at a higher energetic level, so you see things differently. You see things more clearly within your work and career and finances. So your graduating and leaving home from university, and you have opportunities that maybe other people in your family have never had before. So it's very exciting for you, and your family's really proud, and they're happy you're leaving home and being able to take these opportunities. I'm covered in the chills again. So I feel like that's for some of you. You are the first to graduate from university and have other opportunities that no one in your family's ever had. For some of you, I feel like there's like promotions on the horizon is what I'm hearing. And that's not even what you get from usually the Four of Wands card. I'm also hearing she's so beautiful. So I feel like that is related to like a soulmate or a potential soulmate connection that you see long-term with, that you want to have a relationship with. Especially with the Nine of Cups right here. Like, I feel like you've been in... So this is what the Nine of Cups looks like. I feel like you've been enlightened through this, like, awakening that you went through, whatever kind of awakening it was. It could just be like, hey, I have learned these other things by going to school and having a higher education, so I understand things more. Or I studied philosophy on my own and read some interesting books on philosophy, and I feel like I have a better grasp on things I didn't understand before. Or you read some really interesting books spiritually, and it helped you grow spiritually as a person. It can be any of those types of things. Maybe you took some courses where you work, and it helps you grow with your career. But by doing all those things, you close some kind of loop, some kind of, it feels like, spiritual cycle that had to be closed so you could raise your vibration. Something had to be done for your karma, is what I'm hearing. It's related to your karma. It's like good blessings are coming your way because of what you did. It's like you understood what you had to do and the things that you shed. It's like the shadows, the fears you faced, and what you were able to do or recognize or say, this is no longer healthy for me. I want healthy boundaries in my work. I want healthy boundaries in connections. I want, to face my fear related to flying. So I'm going to get on a plane, whatever they may be. It's like whatever you did, it brought blessings to you. So good things are coming for you now because you shed what you needed to shed, and it raised your vibration. So it made you more enlightened in life. And I'm seeing that with the eye, and this looks like a sun here. So your eyes are more open to the world. They're more open to people, to work. I'm smelling smoke. Not like I'm smelling smoke in my house. I'm literally smelling like smoke. Like some of you might be sitting around like campfires or bonfires or fires like on a beach. Or it's like fires like in fire pits or fireplaces. Like it smells like smoke. Not like my house is on fire. Like I smell smoke. Like I really smell like... Some of you might have gone to places where you sit in a hut and they burn smoke, so you sweat out the impurities of your body. You may have gone through those kinds of like spiritual rituals. But this that's what I'm smelling when I'm holding the Nine of Cups card. So I feel like some of you purged things that were no longer good for you. Like you went to like a spiritual kind of retreat, and I'm really smelling smoke heavily. So I don't know if you did that, or if some of you sat around campfires or sat around like a bonfire, or if there was like a fire in a fireplace and there was like some other kind of retreat you attended and people just openly spoke freely about what they're trying to improve in their lives and what their goals are. Because cups also represent love. So you're talking about like how you want to love yourself, how you want to love others, what kind of love you want here in the 3D, in this world now in your life. The smoke is really prevalent that I'm smelling. So I feel like this will resonate with a few of you, because I feel like several of you did this in different ways. And it made you very enlightened and open to love, loving yourself most importantly, but knowing how to love others in healthy ways. So you can have a really happy, fulfilled life. And that's what you did. Yeah, the smoke smell is really prominent. I mean, if I knew my house was not on fire, I would think it was on fire because I can smell it so strongly. I looked at my candle. I'm like, no, my house is not on fire. Because it's really prominent. Like, it's really prominent. I know several of you did something like this. Or it's not an incense smell. It is a smoke smell, like from fire. So maybe some of you even walked on coals, like walked on fire. Because you felt you had to wake yourself up. I felt like some of you went to like detox programs. And that's what you shedded, were your addictions. And that's why you have the Five of Wands, because you're no longer fighting your demons. You're ready for a happy home and love, and you have self-love, and you know your worth and your value. That's really specific to one of you, but I feel it's very true. And you end with the Star card, because I feel like this is your true north. This is what you are holding on to now. For the majority of you, especially with it being paired with like the Nine of Cups. Well, I mean, with the Nine of Cups paired with like, I mean, this is like what people want to see in like a tarot spread. And I'm not even reading them like traditional tarot cards, but everybody wants to see, oh, a marriage card with like, usually it's a couple, like it's 4 wands with like a little wreath and like a couple here holding hands. That's what everyone wants. Then they want like, oh, the Nine of Cups, so much happiness, this is overwhelming. And then the Star card, which is usually a woman pouring out, it's usually the water bear that represents Aquarius, pouring out water into the river. So it's like love pouring into love, because it means love for like all of humanity and all of mankind. But it can also mean love for like all of this. So this is what people want to see. Marriage, happy home, happy family, so much love right here, right now, and then ultimate happiness and wish fulfillment. This is what people want to see in a spread. And you just naturally did it by raising your vibration and learning how to love yourself. That's all you did. And with this, I'm getting that, like, with the Star card, that it's just, you are holding on to this. Yes, your wish fulfillment is here. Like, I feel like some of you are meeting your soulmates, or your soulmates, you may have just met them. I don't feel like this is like you're meeting them soon, or you may have just met them. Or you found out someone was single, so you came back from a trip you were on. But I don't feel like this was really a journey for soulmates. I feel like this was a journey for yourself. But I feel like with the Star card, it's like what you're holding on to about what you value for yourself. It's your true north, which is in your heart. It's like, I'm not going back to that person I don't recognize anymore. That person I shedded. I'm going to stay more high vibrational. I'm going to do these things I learned about myself. I'm going to maintain this, and I want to grow. I'm still smelling that smoke. So some of you really had these beautiful spiritual experiences, and you're like, I'm not going back to who I used to be. I want this, and I want to continue to grow spiritually, and more blessings are coming your way, is what I see with the Star card here. It's like, it's just the beginning. Like, what's the phrase? It's like the tip of the iceberg, because, you know, we only see like a little bit, and then it's like the ocean, and then the iceberg is this massive thing underneath the ocean that we can't even begin to see sometimes the bottom of. That's what I'm hearing. It's just the tip of the iceberg is what you've only begun to see. Like, your blessings are, what is it? Bounteous, bountiful. So it's like the tip of the iceberg, and your blessings are bountiful because of this karma that you've brought in by either healing yourself or shedding these things that were no longer healthy for you, for what you've gone through. So you're bringing in all of these positive, beautiful energies, which is so much love for self, love for others, love right now here in this world, potential soulmate, total clarity of yourself, happy home, stability, going to university, graduating from university. I'm completely covered in the chills, by the way. And you're holding on to your true north, what your north is, which means what guides you in life, what is your spiritual path, because you found it. And I'm covered in the chills. So you're holding on. This is your spiritual path, your happiness, your guiding light. You're not letting go of this. And you will always follow this beacon because it's inside your soul. It's your purpose in life. It's your happiness. It's your love. And you will continue to follow it, and it's going to continue to help you grow. And you're going to keep vibrating higher and really growing spiritually is what I'm hearing. And more blessings are coming for you. So I feel like this is a huge spiritual awakening a lot of you have had. And it's going to continue through your life with more blessings coming for you. I hope that's helpful. It's a beautiful reading. These are things people want to see in tarot cards. I just kind of read them and see them differently. I wish you a beautiful evening, day, morning, wherever you are in the world. Thank you for liking, for subscribing, for being a part of the channel. And I thank all of you genuinely so much, for those of you who buy me a coffee and who email me for personal readings. As you know, those I so much enjoy doing for all of you. And you know, I get a little carried away and always go longer than need be because I want you to have everything you possibly need to answer your questions that you ask. So thank you for being a part of the channel. It truly means so much to me. I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.